There are certain things that often show up on our miniatures, be it bones, skulls, chains, fur, armor, or skin. Then there is effects that can change and affect the tones of those things. One of those effects that can be painted in a lot of different ways and in a lot of different colors is OSL, Object Source Lighting. OSL can be bright, it can be small, it can be large, and I have painted OSL on a lot of different minis. I think it's a really effective way to sell a scene, to place items, characters, environments, to make them exist in the same space. You're watching Witness My Minis. My name is Peter. This is Wiley. Today we paint a green OSL from a steampunk gun. Let's go. This is a 3-part series, and if you didn't catch the first part where I painted the leather jacket, that should be in the corner right now, or you can find it down in the description below. I will be painting this bust from Mindwork Games. It's from their series The Diner at the End of the Galaxy. The first season included great busts as the chef, the doctor, and many more. The second season has so far only 2 busts announced, and I will be painting the sheriff. Since the OSL from the gun will affect the infamous hat of our character, I make sure to create painted texture using freehand. This texture can later be affected by the light and selling the effect even more. The texture I go for in this case is fish scales. I figure our squid alien have strapped fish skin on his hat, because why not? In between the fish skin I paint lines representing stretched muscles and ligaments. I make sure to paint the screen of the gun white. This will emit the light and hence it should be the brightest area on the whole mini. After that I lightly map out the areas that will be hit by the OSL using the airbrush and white translucent ink. Next up is to color in the white areas with the first color. I choose to go with a bluish green. The color I use is from Golden High Flow. It's very translucent and easy to airbrush. It does, however, dry somewhat glossy, so a matte varnish is needed afterwards. Next up, I redefine the areas, the edges that will be hit by the light. I do this with white ink and a brush. Here the freehand I painted earlier comes to great use, since I will only highlight the edges of the individual scales that will be struck by the light, thus making them look even more 3D. I take pure green fluorescent color and paint on top of the white I just painted. I'm not afraid to paint outside the lines, since the color is so weak on darker areas. It will only tint it slightly. It will only punch through on the top of the white I just placed. The last thing I do is to paint white again on the center of the screen and then cover that with fluo jello, making it so freaking bright and punchy that, yeah, I think it speaks for itself. It's hard to see in the pictures, but I actually painted a little fish on the screen so that the final bright highlight is a little yellow fish. But it's so freaking bright that it's blown out in the pictures. So this is the final result of the sheriff. I will now send this to my dear patron Jim. I had a blast painting this, so I hope you like it, Jim. So what did you think about this video series? About me doing it in shorter spurts, like tackling one area at a time? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please comment down below. And if you didn't catch the first part, that should be in the description down below, or in the same playlist as this one. As always, thank you to my dear patrons for sticking around and spurring me on. Thanks for watching. Bye!